We are 3 sleeps away from the New York Knicks' first preseason game coming up this Sunday, but Leon Rose continues to add players to this roster, and we're going to break it down on today's show as they've signed 2 more players. That's why you subscribe to the channel, though. When the Knicks make a move, we make a video. Free, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking Knicks content multiple times every single day. So if you love the Knicks and you want free videos every day, smash that sub button and help us get to our goal of 54,000 subscribers. We need 417 Knicks fans to hit that big red button. Help a Knicks fan out. You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. It has been a crazy couple of days for the New York Knicks. About a week ago, they traded for Karl Anthony Towns. They then cut Marcus Morris. They then cut Chuma Okeke. Then they re-signed Chuma Okeke. Then they went out and traded for TJ Warren, and now the Karl Anthony Towns trade is official. Training camp has started, and the New York Knicks are filling out the rest of their roster by signing Alex O'Connell to an Exhibit 10 deal. A reminder, an Exhibit 10 deal is essentially a training camp invite with no guaranteed money. This past year, O'Connell played in Italy, averaging 3.5 points per game, 1.5 rebounds. He also played at Duke to start his college career, and he finished up at Creighton. Had some high expectations going to Duke, didn't quite live up to those, and is actually a familiar face. He played for the New York Knicks in the Summer League this past summer. Didn't do all too much, Mr. Alex O'Connell, but he is somebody that people think have developed into a solid shooter. He wasn't that in college. He was expected to be that. In college, his last year at Creighton, averaged 11.8 points per game, got you 5.3 boards, and he wasn't all that efficient, right? Less than 42% from the field, less than 33% from three. People thought he was going to be that next, as Smitty just told me, producer Smitty, he was going to be the next Grayson Allen at Duke. Wasn't able to be that guy. And then had transfer to Creighton. Had a little bit more success there, but it didn't land him a spot in the NBA initially. Last year, played for the Stockton Kings in the G League for 16 games, and he played much better. Probably played the best basketball of his young hoops career. Averaging almost 11 points per game, giving you just shy of 4 boards and a dime and a half per night, but it was the efficiency that rose, and that is what keeps on putting him on the radar of teams trying to find a shooter. Shot 49% from the field, almost 40% from downtown, and if you're ever close to that 40% mark, that's something that GMs look at, and they're looking at that could be a consistent shooter in this league. And that's the way he's going to have to make this roster. If there's anything the Knicks lack on this team right now, it's wing depth, and it's another sharpshooter off the bench. And maybe O'Connell could be that guy, and he is really the only way he's going to make this team to going from an Exhibit 10 deal to a guy that is a guaranteed roster spot, maybe a two-way contract, as he could go back and forth with the Westchester Knicks is. He's got to shoot lights out. He needs to be the best shooter on the team in training camp, in preseason. If he goes out in the preseason, has some big-time games, lights it up from three, that'll increase his chances. It's already an uphill battle for him to make the roster, but there is a way that he can do it, and he's got to be on fire from downtown. The New York Knicks also signed Damion Baugh to an Exhibit 10 contract. Again, that is a training camp invite, no guaranteed money. And also, you can work in some two-way type of contracts with that. So maybe we see Baugh playing with the Westchester Knicks. Last year, played 37 games with the South Bay Lakers. Was pretty solid for them as well. And then in college, he was good for the TCU Horned Frogs. He was a second-team All-Big 12 guy. He also played for the he played for the South Bay Lakers, and he had his best game against the G League Warriors, scoring 38 points. But with the South Bay Lakers, he averaged 9.3 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 2.9 assists over 27.4 minutes per game. Not the best shooter in the world, and that's what's kind of held him back from becoming and stamping himself as an NBA player. Good playmaker, high IQ basketball player, willing to compete on the defensive end. And we saw that in the Summer League for the New York Knicks. Baugh, as well as O'Connell, both played for the Knicks this past year in Las Vegas. And there were some things that I liked from both of them. But I really liked Baugh as a college player. Talking to my guy Harrison Graham, who covers the NBA, NFL, college football, and so much more here at Chat Sports, TCU alum. When the Knicks signed Damion Baugh, he was like, Marsh, you didn't tell me they signed Baugh. I'm like, I'm finding out just with you, brother. And he was telling me he was a good player, good guy. He competed, really high IQ player, can distribute the ball, just needs to work on that downtown shooting, just 33% in college. Wasn't much better in the G League with the South Bay Lakers. And I thought he actually showed some shooting promise for the Knicks in this Summer League, but that's Summer League, and you never want to overreact to that too much. Look, I think Baugh and O'Connell, for this matter, are just training camp bodies for the New York Knicks. I think you get 21 spots on your roster heading into training camp, and might as well fill those out. And if these guys impress, you can work them into the back end of your roster. You could sign to two-way deals, or you could look at them as developmental projects going into the future. Leon Rose is going to work every avenue to improve this team. Baugh and O'Connell, welcome to the Knicks. Good luck. Hope you have a good training camp. We're going to break down what this full roster looks like and what's coming up for the Knicks. But first, make sure you have your Chat Sports Real One t-shirt. Go to chatsports.com/realknicks. That's chatsports.com/realknicks. We've got the OG blue one, and we've got the fresh black piece you got to check out. If you're a Knicks fan and you love this channel and you want to support, do it by going to chatsports.com/realknicks. Order it today so it'll be there when the season gets kicked off on October 22nd against the Boston Celtics. The Knicks at this moment have 4 players on Exhibit 10 deals, a.k.a. training camp invites. That includes Chuma Okeke, who I am bullishly high on, man. I like the tools. I like the body that he's got, pause, and he's a good defender. He's a willing defender, and he's shown the ability to knock down the outside shot before. He's athletic. If he can shoot even league average, I think he should make this roster. TJ Warren, we know what he did in the bubble. Guy's a legend. Put a statue of him down there in Florida. Damion, Baugh, and Alex O'Connell also on Exhibit 10 deals. I think one of these guys are going to make the team. And I think also that now that I'm doing this show, I think Landry Shamet is also on an Exhibit 10 deal. So you got 5 guys on an Exhibit 10 deal, and I think only one of them are going to make this team. And that really comes down to the financials of the roster. I thought Bobby Marks, NBA insider who works for ESPN, he broke it down really well. Look at that projected salary at the top. $185.35 million. They are $3.6 million below the second apron. I know apron talk can be boring, but thanks to the new CBA, we have to do it. New York Knicks cannot exceed the second apron. So how does New York fill out their roster? Now at the bottom of the screen, they can keep Shamet or sign a veteran minimum player. Shamet's actually on an Exhibit 9 deal, which doesn't involve any G League affiliations with that contract. Also, a note, camp invites do not count towards salary. Or, so you can keep Shamet, or you can convert one of the two-way players, veteran minimum, $2.1 million, and a two-way conversion, $1.1 million. Right now, the Knicks have 12 guaranteed money roster spots. You got to get to 14. Maybe you convert one of your two-way guys, and Jacob Toppin, Kevin McCullough, or Ariel Huck-Porty. Maybe you convert both. You can't even do that. The veteran minimum is $2.1 million, and you're only 3.6 below, so you can't keep 2 of these training camp invites guys. So between Shamet, between Warren, between Okeke, Baugh, and O'Connell, to my knowledge, unless Brock Aller and the New York Knicks cheat the CBA yet again, they're only going to be able to keep one of those guys. I think it's going to be Shamet, but I want Chuma Okeke to get a fair shot, man. Long, lengthy, forward, off the bench, young, athletic, defensive-minded, someone that I think this team could use a little bit of. My question to you is this. As the odds makers out west have put the New York Knicks win total at 54.5, what do you say? Pull out your wallet and put your money down. Over, under, type O for over, U for under, 54.5 wins. Choose the over, baby. That's free money. Make sure you are following me over on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. You can also find me on the gram at the same handle. Hit me up over there, and let's go Knicks!